In the movement that has just passed, the Gen Z movement, we chanted a lot of things, but comrades, some of the people who were instigating us were in the former government.
And I will stand for you until I deliver that. I will not let the guards down. I'm fearless, but also I have a leader who is President William Ruto.
These comrades are actually supposed to take over this party.
It is time to engage all the youth in the country. It is time to engage the student leaders because they are the conscience of the society.
In the movement that has just passed, the Gen Z movement, we chanted a lot of things, but comrades, some of the people who were instigating us were in the former government. There is something I do not do. I'm not a hypocrite. I will never hide away from the truth. The previous government found the public debt at 1.7 trillion. And as a financial engineer, and actually does not need any skill that I've studied in school, to know that those people tripled, not even tripled, they brought the debt up by 5 times. Those people have no right to criticize the current government. Comrades, those are part of the reasons that we are suffering today. And so, comrades, as somebody comes to tell us that the president is not working, that the president is just there to steal our money, comrades, the people who have just left power are the ones who have left us in this mess. Let us not allow to be instigated. Let us not allow to be swayed by people who have eaten from the government and who will only complain when things are not going right. Comrades, power! Comrades, power! Viva, comrades, viva! Viva, comrades, viva! Say it like a true believer. Viva, comrades, viva! Comrades, I believe that we are going far. And probably today might just seem like any other day, but today we mark a very important day in the history of our country. Comrades, in the former meeting that we had as UDA, our wise comrade told us that not every cry at night is a cry of pain. Comrades, wisdom. Comrades, not every cry at night is a cry of pain. Comrades, wisdom. Comrades, we have suffered for a long time. We have asked to be included in the government, and this is one of the best opportunities we have. And so as we sit here today, comrades, let us ensure that we make the most of it. I am Gishangi Gitonga, and I am here to serve. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sikuwa najua kuna mawise men wengi sana. Itabidi nitafute Blair polite, tukae chini na yeye anifundishe hizi vitu mzee. Nimesikia leo mmesema break up should not find you single. Mavijana mnasikia? Madem mnasikia? Make sure break up should not find you single because utalia sana. One thing I want to appreciate you comrades. One is because of agreeing to come here today so that we can discuss 1, 2, 3 issues. First of all, I want to appreciate you so much because of accepting to sit down with the government so that you can be able to air your issues, more especially in the new funding model. Manzema jamaa tuna appreciate sana because if funding model ni yenu, you guys were supposed to be involved, na tumekubaliana, gava imekubali, Urezo ameweka wase pale, mkai chini, mchapiane hiyo funding model because I believe education is the only equalizer, and that was the best thing to do for the youths and more especially for the students of this country. So tuna believe wale wote wamechaguliwa because this squad iko hapa, kuna wasa wamechaguliwa kwa hiyo kikosi, mkai chini, muangalie hiyo funding model na mu make sure hiyo funding model benefits these comrades who are seated here today because these are the future of this country. So mimi nataka kuwashukuru na nishukuru Urezo sana kwa sababu amekubali kukaa chini na nyinyi ili muweze kuongelea hiyo funding model because the best way in life ni kukame up na solutions. Mlikubali kuweka strike kando, mkakaa chini mkasema ni aje tuchapiane hii model ili iweze kuwasaidia kwa sababu life yenyewe ni hard hapa Njei. Lazima mpate school fees ilipwe, lazima upate kichele kidogo, ukienda pale upate ka lunch kako na nini na nini. So that was a good idea. So mimi nataka appreciate sana. Alafu niwaambie hivi, saa hii sasa nyinyi ndio mtakuwa ambassadors wa UDA pale nje. Sawa? Mmekubali kuwa ambassadors wetu pale nje? Wangapi wanakubaliana kuwa ambassadors wetu pale nje? Ati mnadaishaje? Mnataka mchuzi? Mnataka mchuzi? Ingie kwa mbosho? Comrades transaction! Comrades transaction! Comrades transaction! Angalia lango zimeingia hapo pap. Lastly, as I finish, I'll want to tell you that President William Ruto cares about the young people of this country. Through that, I want to assure you, I know there has been an issue on JSS teachers. I want to assure you seated here today that all our JSS teachers who are on contract will be taken on permanent and pensionable basis. Because as a country, we have to try and make sure that we bridge the gap between the teacher and the student ratio. Kwa hivyo naambia mavijana msiogope, na kitu ya mwisho nawaambia mkwe mnaangalia website za gava, opportunities ziko huko mob, my internship. So kama kuna opportunity, we apply, make sure the first thing apply, show up, na God atawabless. So I don't want to take much time. Nataka tu kuambia mngangane, opportunities ziko kila mahali. Orezo wetu William Ruto amesign so many bilateral agreements za Canada, US, Saudi Arabia, na hope mse wa National Employment Authority yuko hapa leo ili aweze kuelezea wasee njia wanapata hizi mawera. I don't want to take much time. I want to appreciate each and every one of you, na niwaambie you guys are going far. You guys are going far. Be good ambassadors of UDA, be good ambassadors of your various institutions, because I believe as a community and as a country, when we are united, we will go far. We will go far as a country. So kwa hayo mengi na machache, nataka kuambia kutoka hapa hiyo mchuzi yenu inaingia hapo kwa Nangos pop. So let me now officially welcome the Secretary General of the UDA party, the ruling party of Kenya. Karibu sana Bwana Hassan Omar. Karibu, karibu.
When I became Secretary General of the United Democratic Alliance about 2 months ago, the President gave us the mandate to reset the party and to recalibrate its vision. So nikakumbuka, for the last 1 year, ndugu yetu Daniel Kiptoo had engaged students. He had actually mentioned it. So nikaambiwa, when I asked them, what are the programs of the party? Nikaambiwa sijui tuenda kufungua ofisi wapi, sijui tuenda kufungua ofisi wapi. Nikasema that is conventional. Let us do something unique, something cutting edge, something new. Nikaita ndugu yangu Kiptoo, akanieleza juu ya hii program. Don't forget, this is the only party in this country where the chairperson of the party and the Secretary General of the party met in the streets of Nairobi when they were both expelled from the university. Nikamwambia Ses, hawa ndugu zetu wadogo wanahangaika sana. We must give them an opportunity to not only hone their leadership, but like what those before us did, for them also to cultivate their leadership and take over the positions of power and responsibility. Mimi nakumbuka the first politicians I met when I was a student leader, Chairman ya Moi na Kenya National Students Union, was actually Raila Odinga, James Orengo, and Anyang' Nyong'o. They were sitting together It is that little opportunity that they opened for us in political leadership that today we stand in these parties proud and tall. Na nawaomba wale ambao watakao kuja kuingia katika majukumu in years to come, you must open the doors for others and keep the ladder constantly for others to climb, even if they are going to climb higher than you. And in you now, because of the challenges, existential and contemporary, that exist in the country today, you have an enormous challenge, not only to correct your present, but also to be the legacy of the future. So that generations after us come talk about you, the Comrades chapter, you, the Comrades of today, as the most golden generation Kenya has ever had. Na hiyo is possible. These responsibilities are surmountable. The challenges are those we can overcome. Na kwa hivyo tulipokwenda to His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, he accepted. Tulimwambia mambo ni matatu, mimi niko nayo. Ya kwanza, tukiwa na Cecily Mbarire na huyu ndugu yangu Nyakundi na huyu ndugu yetu Aaron Cheriot, tuataka kuwa na kitu inaitwa Comrades chapter as a legitimate and popular organ of the UDA party. Akaweka tick, and immediately we moved to its implementation. Nataka kuwashukuru nyote for taking your time, for the trouble, for the commitment to be here. As long, by God's grace, that I sit in the office of Secretary General of the UDA, you will never be alone. As long as Cecily is there, we will do everything practical and possible together with Aaron Cheriot and President William Ruto to ensure your concerns are heard and their results. And we have started this journey. The president is a listening president. He climbed down on the finance bill. He has allowed a lot of comrades to contribute into the funding model, which my chair, Cecily Mbarire, will speak about. Lakini kutoka moyo wangu, nataka kuwashukuru sana kwa kujitolea kwenu, for you to come here as young scholars, to take time out of your busy schedules, learning and other, leo si Friday mnataka wana kudunda, from everything, to come here to at least be part of this process. I am aware katika nyinyi hapa, as humble as you look and as young as you are, one of you one day will lead this nation. One day, one of you will be the best researcher, innovator in this world. Kenya is one of the greatest countries. Kenya is a country that makes us proud. We'll not only win marathons and athletics, we will win in the social space, in the political space, in the innovation space, and in the economic space. Kwa hivyo, feel free. Umenipa challenge moja. Wajua hii challenge ambayo Brian amenipa ni challenge ndo ambayo rahisi kabisa. Hata anataka kuwe na ofisi ya Comrades chapter by tarehe moja. Kuja next week utapata hiyo ofisi. If we can't give you space to work from, then we can't give you a place for us to engage. So I hope as we come to your counties in the next 1 month to 2 months, every weekend, tutakwenda katika counties tofauti tofauti. Use that as an opportunity to engage, ask hard questions. Wakati mtu anaongelea Adani, sikiza alafu uulize. Wakati mtu anaongelea any issue you disagree with, hard as it might be, ask hard questions so that you can get clarity, and where you agree, agree. Where you disagree, you agree to disagree. Kwa hayo mengi, nichukue fursa hii kumwalika mwenyekiti wa chama cha UDA ambaye ndio governor, one of the strongest women governors we have in this country, one of the best performing governors in this country, ndugu yangu, rafiki yangu, former student leader of student organization, Amasweo Student Union of Egerton University, Cecily Mbarire.
In the interest of time, let me say all protocols observed. Comrades power! Comrades power! Mimi siwasikii na sitatoka hapa mpaka niwasikie vizuri. Comrades power! Comrades power. Na sasa nimesikia ingine inasema Comrades wisdom. Asante sana. I am very, very happy to be before you. And I want to take this opportunity first to give the greetings of the party leader, His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, who is aware of our being here today and has sent his greetings to all of you. And he says he looks forward to interacting with you in the near future. I am extremely happy to be here because my history, as has been mentioned earlier, emanates from student leadership. I went to Egerton University, and we had a union called the Students' Union of Egerton University, SWEU. I don't know whether that's the name they call today. And I started first by being an assistant organizing secretary in my second year. And then I moved on to being the vice chair. And I made history at the university of being the first woman to get to the position at that level. My chair then was a very vibrant young man called Suba Churchill, who still remains very vibrant in the civil society today. This platform gave me a chance at that time to work very closely with the political leaders of the time. And at that time, being a student leader, we always found ourselves right in the opposite direction of the government of the day, which was then the late President Moi. And those days were not easy, as Hassan will tell you, because if you challenged government as a student leader, you always found yourself expelled from the university. And so I got myself an expulsion, and I was then with even a very popular news anchor today and a journalist, Joe Ageo. Together, we were expelled, all of us, out of university. But through the courts, we managed to go back. But then the politicians in the opposition then, Mwai Kibaki, Raila Odinga, Charity Ngilu, managed to hold our hands and helped us to pay lawyers to be able to go back to university. But then, although the price that time was very high of being a student leader, I'm happy that we've gone to a point where now student leaders can freely express themselves without fear of any form of victimization today. That in fact, you're being called on the table to discuss issues at the time we were shunned and found to be very bad young people. But today, we are changing that narrative, and we are saying that it is time to engage all the youth in the country. It is time to engage the student leaders because they are the conscience of the society. You are seen to be people who are able to speak out your voices without fear, without favor. And I think the Gen Z revolution, let me say, taught us that the young people are tired of just talking and nobody is listening. And that they are not afraid to speak truth to power. And I want to encourage you to continue in that journey, because if the conscience of society does not speak, society will collapse. So it is your moment, it is your time. And let me also remind you, youth is not a permanent feature. Youth is a transitional season. So while you're a young person, make the best use of it. But I also want to go further and say, having been a student leader, and Hassan and maybe those before me will tell you, I have not seen any political party in the country, whether ruling or in the opposition, that has brought student leaders together to discuss issues affecting themselves and the nation. I'm proud that I'm now in a party that is recognizing comrades. So please, don't just come here and walk away and you're done with it. It is your moment to make your voices heard through this chapter. I want to see that the first presentation of views to the task force on the education, the new education financing model, coming from yourselves as UDA Comrades chapter. Sit down, put together all your issues, the challenges with the model. Let us take it as a party and say this is the voice of the UDA Comrades chapter. Speak for those comrades that do not have the opportunity to be seated here today. I am happy that the president, as he was constituting the task force, has actually put young people in that task force. And out of those young people, 14 are coming from this chapter that we are launching today. So it is a beginning. But I have another opinion and observation. Out of this meeting today, let us make sure whatever issues that have been interrogated here. I really loved the presentation by the young girl who was speaking on behalf of PWDs. She spoke very well, had amazing ideas. We need a round table with the president, who is the party leader of UDA, as the Comrades UDA chapter, so that we can be able to share with him some of the ideas that we have. Now, in our time, when we were comrades, if you are known to have gone to State House at that time, we used to be called sellouts. So we totally avoided State House. We even avoided sitting down with any government official. But later on, as we were changing from the KANU regime to the NAC regime, where myself and Hassan Omar was actively involved in forming the NAC Youth Congress, we said it is not enough to keep challenging government from without. Let us go in and make our difference. And one of the things we pushed very hard when we were in the NAC regime was the formation or the review of our constitution that gave birth to the 2010 constitution. There were people within that government that did not want another constitution. They wanted to continue with the dictatorial constitution that we were fighting in our days. So do not feel like it is wrong to sit around a table and push your agenda inside government. There's nothing wrong. You just need to stay put, make sure you're not compromised, and keep your agenda very, very clear and not give up on it. So please welcome. We are not here to tell you stop believing in what you believe. We are not here to tell you please stop challenging us when we do not do the right things. We are simply here to tell you here is a table. Let us sit and discuss and be part of the great change that lies ahead of us. We have many programs, and I think they have been mentioned, that are aimed at young people. We want to use this chapter to also talk about these programs and have you be part of this conversation and communicating the same to the young people out there. I'm sure when you go to your homes, especially the villages, the young people there want to hear, what have you heard? What is new? What's going on? We want you to know this information so that you can be able to take it to the grassroots. As we build the ICT hubs in every ward, we want the beneficiaries to be yourselves so that you can be able to engage in online jobs even when you're in campus. You can be able to earn an extra coin for yourself and you can live a better life going forward. So I really look forward to having serious engagements with you. I want to promise you we are fully committed to the issues affecting comrades and the young people. And I also want to say that the biggest mistake any leader today can make, any government today can make, is to ignore the voice of the young people. Because it is very loud, it is unwavering, And if we do not listen to you and act on what you are asking us to do, you surely send us packing. And it is not in our interest to go home right now. We want to be part of it. Finally, I've heard Honorable Mukonji say we should vacate the tables and let you in. And that makes a lot of sense, but I'll also challenge you. Don't sit back and expect anybody to vacate the seat for you. You have to fight for it. That is the experience I have. Fight for it, go in. But this is a party that is an all-inclusive party. Across gender, across economic divide, across tribal divide. So it is a party for everybody. Once you get your space, use it and use it wisely and without fear. With all those remarks, may I take this opportunity to thank you so very much as the comrades of this country and ask you to keep soldiering on. And ask you, please occupy UDA without fear or favor and tell us what must be done to make this party a better party for the future. In you, and I want to say this, I first sought my first parliamentary attempt at the age of 24. At that time, as a very young girl, and as I watched the vice president of SONU speak, I couldn't help but feel a relationship with her, because that is where I began. And I know she's going to go places, and so will all of you, if you stay focused. Now, at the time, it was very hard to win as a young person because the majority of the voters were of the old age. So they would challenge you about your young age and make you look like being young meant you didn't know much. But now, you have a better chance because the majority of the Kenyan voter is now youth. So it means there's MCAs right here before us. And I want to tell you, there are no legislators as important as MCAs because devolution cannot work without them. So please, if you come to UDA, start preparing, and we are going to start building your capacities. Let us know, all of you who want to run for MCA, tuanze kuweka data bank, tuanze kuwa train, tuanze kuwa prepare for that moment. All of you who want to be MPs, please talk now. Let us register you, know which constituency you are interested in. Let us start building, creating a nursery for you to be trained and prepared for that moment. MPs, governors, let us prepare all of you. And eventually, I'm sure from this team, we'll come back to celebrate. And as a party that is very, very conscious of young people, we'll make sure that the nomination fee is not prohibitive to those of you that want to run for office. But don't think merely by saying you're a university student and a university student leader, that is enough to make you what you want to be. Work at it and start now. Safari ianze leo, sio kesho, and I'm sure we'll be able to see you get there. May God bless you all as you go back to your various universities. My door is open to work with you as the chair of the UDA party, and I believe in you and your potential. God bless you so very much.
Our very good friend, a leader of the creative economy, Dennis Itumbi, comrade leaders, comrade power. You know, I have to listen to you guys, and what I know is you are also quite tired, so I don't want to take a lot of your time. And if you are to fear anything, fear a hungry comrade. But being a comrade, I also associate with you a lot. Kwanza mimi naitwa Gitonga Mukonji, Mimi ni mbunge wa Manyata kule Embu. Na wakati niliingia bunge, wabunge vijana waliona wanipee nafasi kuwa chairman wao. So I'm here as a chairman, young members of parliament. We have been engaging a lot with you guys. Now, I want to say that this is what has been missing. The engagement of our young people in the right places. Now, I want to congratulate the party UDA, SG and chair, kwa sababu wakati hawa vijana hawana nafasi ya kujiendeleza, kupeana ideas zao, they will end up in the streets if they don't have a voice. But when you give them a platform like this, waweze kuleta maneno yao. Bwana SG, I want to say congratulations. Madam Chair, congratulations. Kwa sababu this one will change the trajectory. And mimi ile kitu nataka kushauri chama, wakati hawa comrade wameongea, wasikizwe na matendo ifanyike. Because it is one thing to talk, but it's another thing kusikizwa na matendo kufanyika. And we are in a situation where these comrades are actually supposed to take over this party. Hii chama inafaa kuwa ya hawa comrades. Sisi tunafaa ku step aside, tuachie nyinyi comrade mrani hii chama ndio iweze kwenda mbele. Ama mnaona aje? Kwa sababu naona 2027 mimi bunge nitakuwa napatana na watu wako na rasta kama rafiki yangu Salasia kwa sababu ya nyinyi vijana. And I want to say that if we do that and we give power, parties power to the young people of this country, then our parties will be the right line of defense kuhakikisha ile maneno serikali inafanya, they are able to articulate them upande ya pale mashinani. I have engaged many of you kwa maneno ya funding model, and because we have leaders here, one of the challenge ile tumekuwa nayo ni information haifiki vizuri. Mimi nataka kushauri ya kwamba this year, because tunatayarisha comrade tena ukiingia next year, wakati watu wana register KCSE, wacha waanze kujaza hizo vitu, kusikue na hizi miscommunication, kuwekwa banding mbaya, ndio kila mtu aweze kupewa mahali anafaa kuwa, ili kukue na comrade wenye wanajua ile kazi inafanyika. Ama niaje comrade? Sio iko namna hiyo? Ya mwisho, kwa sababu ya muda, mimi nataka kuambia kuna maneno imebadilika mingi sana katika masomo yetu ya university. Na najua viongozi wengi wenye wako hapa, tuliintroduce ile bill inaitwa Duale bill, ambaye ilifanya changes katika uchaguzi wetu wa universities. Mimi nasukuma hiyo kitu tutoe, turudi maneno ya kuitisha kura kawaida.
Ikibamba sana wapi nuru wewe?
Kwa sababu mimi ningetaka comrades wakuwe na wale viongozi ambao wamechaguliwa na wao na wanapendwa na wao. Kwa sababu mimi singekuwa nasimama hapa leo kama singeanza siasa yangu katika University of Nairobi. Mimi nilikuwa pale kwa Sonu, na ndio maana leo mimi ni mbunge wa Manyata hapa leo. So I want to promise you, you have friends. And I want to congratulate my brother Nyakundi. Huyu ni mmoja wa wale tunaita young members of parliament. Na yeye ndiye ako na kibeti yenu. Kwa hivyo Nyakundi, I want to congratulate you kwa sababu ya kuwa one of those members that are holding high positions in the party. I know the party is going to actually engage these comrades in the right way. Otherwise, mimi usema form ni kujituma. Na hiyo ni comrades wisdom. Kwa sababu ukikosa kujituma, utatumwa na ukitumwa utatumiwa. Asante sana, Mungu awabariki.
Thank you DJ. Okay. Asanteni sana. You know, one day somebody told me that I cannot sing. So today I want to demonstrate that talent without hiding the fact. So kuna ngoma inasemanga yote yawezekana na vijana, yote yawezekana vijana wakiungana. You know guys, I don't know if I'm right. Do I have that talent? Do I have that talent? You know, you have to confirm for me today if I can sing. But of course, I can do that better in bathroom. So permit me, Her Excellency, Cecilia Mbarire, to read this speech that prepared for these special people, the comrades of this country. Chairperson, UDA, the ruling party, Her Excellency Cecilia Mbarire, Secretary General, UDA Party, Hassan Omar, Dennis Itumbi, the special program for the presidential, National Treasury for the UDA Party, Nyakundi you have surprised me somehow, but anyway, that's of course. Also, I want to recognize the presence of the ED, Executive Director for the UDA Party, Nicodemus Bore, and also the party secretariat who are present here, and the partners and the leaders and the majority leader of the Senate, Bwana Haron Cheruyot, karibu sana for this event. As I start, fellow comrades and esteemed guests, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Amjambo. Amjamboni tena. UDA, it was UDA na vijana, because we are the young people coming here to provide solution for the issues that this country is facing at the dire time at this moment, and I'm very appreciating for the President for advocating for the youths of this certain creed that are very resilient in their manner and the way they have been demonstrating their presentation of their issues, even going to occupy the streets. But at the end of the day, we have culmination of this event. So as I start, it is an immense honor to stand before you today at this historic event of the launch of the UDA Comrades chapter, a first of its kind in political history of Kenya, under the theme, Comrades for Inclusive Leadership for Political Processes. Today, we are not just witnessing another event, we are witnessing history in the making. For the first time in Kenya political landscape, a major political party has created an inclusive platform that brings together the youth, the future of this country, in the core of decision-making processes. The UDA Comrade chapter is a revolutionary movement providing a hub where comrades from all corners of the country can converge, engage, and influence directly to our nation. At this juncture, I must express my heartfelt gratitude to His Excellency the President of this unwavering support for the youth leadership and engagement. He is a leader who not only speaks, but listens to the youth of this country, understanding the listening in the key to solving many of the challenges we face. I also extend my deep appreciation to our UDA party chairperson, on Cecilia Mbarire, who honor us today as the chief guest. Youth leadership has been inspiration to many. As we are grateful for your continued commitment to youth empowerment. To the Secretary General Hassan Omar, the UDA Executive Director, all the directors and secretariat, your dedication to this, ensuring this platform thrived in unparalleled, your guidance has been instrumental in turning this vision into reality. Lastly, to my fellow comrades, you have come together unified under the banner and acceptance this chapter as your own. Today is our day, and this is our platform. We are also privileged to be joined by leaders who were once student leaders, as mentioned before. Themselves, just like us, it is important to acknowledge that many of these national leaders began this journey as comrades, demonstrating that student leadership is a stepping stone to a national leadership. As I say, the university is the John the Baptist, and the leadership in university is the baptism to the national leadership of Kenya. Comrades, power. Comrade, transact. Hata siwasikia. I don't know why. I don't know the transaction from Nyakundi zafanyika or what is going on, but I will find it out soon. by the detection of the wisdom. They are a living proof that the leadership skills developed on campuses can translate into transformative leadership for the entire nation. Speaking of the journey, allow me to share a personal story. I vividly remember the day I stepped into the UDA headquarters. I was kind of hungry and ambitious and curious, driven by an idea that had yet to take form. I took the stairs, and as a fate will have it, I met Director Sam, who is also in our presence here today. He welcomed me and gave me the space to hear my ideas and offered infallible advice that has shaped my path. Borrowing from the wisdom of the comrade, I suggested that we continue our conversation over lunch because at the time, I was sure that something was not scorching well in his stomach. The smile that spread across his face, it in that moment told me that I had made the right call. From that day, step by step, my ideas were nurtured and supported by the incredible team of UDA leading us to momentum today. And also I must appreciate Director Kiptoi in the absentia, being abroad in China, for making us to this event of the today. He has been the person who is a very influential, understanding the issues of the comrades and taking it to their heart. This is the person who understands us, and we think we can have leaders who listen to the comrades. This is the way forward, because we believe we are the magical number of Kenya, and we are going to make changes coming 2027. For the parliament of this country must be occupied by mostly the Generation Z, who are very dedicated on they cannot be silenced by the matter that they see the problem that goes in this country, and they need to solve at the table and redesign the shape of this country. Comrades, power! Comrades, transact! Let me continue. As I reflect on this journey, I remember the words from the 1 Timothy 4:12. It says this way, as I quote, "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." These words resonate deeply with me, and they resonate with all of us here. We, the youths of Kenya, are not simply the leaders of tomorrow. We are the leaders of today. Age is not a barrier to leadership. It is our values and action that define us. Comrades, wisdom. Comrades, power. The UDA Comrades chapter was born out of the bold and visionary idea to bring the gap between the ruling party and the youth of Kenya. Our Secretary General, Senator Hassan Omar, was instrumental in making this vision a reality. His call for the youth to step up and own the political landscape was a rallying cry that we answered. This platform allows young people to voice their concern and share their ideas and actively participate in shaping the policies that affect their future. It is a space where the voice of the comrade will not only be heard, but be amplified. Let us be honest, young people. We have been sidelined for far too long. I remember when Shaban was presenting Ashahiri, alisema vijana hatupendi kupuuzwa. Na ni ukweli hatupendi kupuuzwa. Na tutasikilizwa kwa njia inayofaa, na mambo yetu ambayo tunaleta kwa meza yanastahili kupatia ufasaha na yaweze kufanyika vile vile pia tunavyopeana hizo issues kwa leaders zetu waweze kuact upon it. So it's a good idea acted upon, but today we say no more. We are not just asking to be heard. We are demanding that our good ideas to be acted upon. We want an active role in shaping policies that affect our lives, because we are not just stakeholders. We are the majority in this country. By 2027, the youth will be an ignorable force with a magical number that can determine the political direction of this nation. Therefore, it is just important, it is critical that an office be established where our concerns and the ideas can be processed and actioned and implemented. This office will ensure that our voices are not just echoed, but lead to the reality, the impact change. Our mission is simply yet transformative, to create an inclusive political environment where young people are empowered. Our voices are not just heard but acted upon. We aim to engage directly with the ruling party on issues that matters most to us, like university funding model, job opportunities either locally or abroad, youth-centric policies, ICT startups promote digitalization of this country, and digital superhighway being one of the better agenda transformation of the economy. Climate change and the national budget making process to make ourselves understand more, so that next time when a finance bill comes, we don't just occupy the parliament, but we resolve to understand what is going on in that issue paper. Now, speaking as a proud member of a Generation Z, we are a generation that occupies every space, from the street to the offices, from the social media to the halls of parliament. We are not here to sit back and watch. We are here to transform the system. We don't want just a seat at the table. We want to rebuild the table because we know that transparency, accountability, and justice are non-negotiable for us. We are the generation that demand action, and we will not stop until change we seek is achieved. Let me give you a story. When the Gen Zs were demonstrating, the MPs were in the parliamentary service in their National Assembly at the Nairobi. And one thing I realized, it is not that the MPs had a mistake by voting the finance bill. One of the issues that I realized is that there was no platform for the youth to hear their voice so that they may channel the issues to the MPs so that they may be presented and certain kind of the clauses that were not really accommodative for this country and the living condition that we existing economical problems that we are facing as a country was the issue that we didn't have. And I think Senator Hassan Omar, our SG, is my humble request that you being the former student, Aaron Cheriot being the former student, our chairperson of the ruling party, Cecilia Mbere, being the former student leader, it's very important that you make office for these people so that when they visit me at the UDA headquarters, they can come and see me and present their issues so that we may work together, we may be part of this ruling party, we participate in the political processes, and we ensure that we shape this country as it deserves to be shaped, because we have been living in a delusion where the youth have been sidelined, and it's higher time we recognize that the impact of the youth is very impactful for this country. We were seeing the street, and it's higher time we get recognition, and if not, let's be heard and have our own space where we can hear our issues and be acted upon. Bona SJ, I know you are the former student, and you know you are going to do this in your calmability, your accommodability that you have shown us since the previous time. Is higher time you worked on that, and I know when the time comes when you're going to present your own speech, you will confirm with us that our office, by the time coming on October, it will be there so that the comrades of Kibabii University, once they visit the ruling party, they can also have their place to sit and drink tea as they hear their issue. Thank you so much. The importance of the unity. Sijamaliza, it is our day. It is our day. And I'm going to finish, and then I will hand over to you. And I stand to be guided, Bwana SG. Let me talk about this, and this is the pointing out the state affairs on the importance of the national unity. But before the change to happen, we must stand together as a comrades. We understand that divide house cannot stand. Unity is our strength. Factionalism has no place in our future and today. And we stand united. We must continue to reject division, embrace the collective power of a generation. Mambo ya kusema mlima imepasuka, hiyo ni mambo ya natural factors wenye wamesoma geography. So we don't want to associate with that. We want the country that is united as a one youth. Tuko pamoja. Tuko pamoja. We need a unified country, a country that knows its place for the future destination, that everybody aspire to be there regardless of the gender, the interest of the figure of the body, the age, and all the intellectual capacity. They can make decisions for this country. Moving forward, our journey does not end here. It begins today. From this event, we will move to the counties, we will engage in town halls, and we will meet the youths. Wherever they are, we will continue to push for the changes we want to see in this country. The UDA Comrades chapter is just the beginning, and we are only getting started, and it's getting started. If it gets hotter, it's higher time now you leave the room, because the room, when it gets the temperature rise, is about you to purchase the fan. Not a problem to be. In conclusion, as the chairperson, I have to register my gratitude to the UDA party and His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto, for the unwavering support and for the listening to the youth. That president is the authentic president. A president that sits down with the youths and listen to them. Sometimes we understand the difficulty that this country faces. We understand the issues that we are facing. But we know the time will come that these issues will be settled and Kenya will be a better place. Kenya will be a better place. I want to hold. Don't let the guts all down. I know time will come, and all of us will see the vision of Kenya that we one time aspire by our forefathers who died fighting for this independence of this country. We will not allow the corruption that we see it sucks the youth in this country to still suck the youths. It's higher time. We know the president has tried. In the previous weeks, the president commissioned the EACC, the collection of the money that was robbed in our national budgeting. The recovering we have seen. We are recommending the president to still hold hard and to push for these corrupt leaders to be occupied, to go home, and the youth to occupy those positions so that we may end the corruption in this country. Comrades, wisdom. Comrades, power. Comrades, wisdom. As the chairperson finally, let's not forget the unwavering dedication of our party leader, the President Dr. William Ruto, whose wisdom vision continues to guide us. His leadership inspires the heart to work harder and aim higher as we build a brighter and more prosperous country in this Kenya. Fellow comrades, I want to take this moment to express my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you for taking time to listen to me today. Your attention, your support, and unity are foundation upon which we will build the future we will envision for ourselves and for this great country. It is because of you, the Comrade of the UDA chapter exists and drives. Your passion, your ideas, and your dedication for the cause of the youth empowerment will be driving for the force behind the changes we want for this Kenya. Remember this is not just about one speech of an event. It is about our collective voice. Nyinyi ndio mmenituma na lazima ni present your issues, and I will stand for you until I deliver that. I will not let the guards down. I'm fearless, but also I have a leader who is President William Ruto, who guides us to the higher destination of this country. Listen to one another, stand by each other, and we work together toward the brighter tomorrow. Aya, asanteni sana. You can sit. Thank you, comrades. Silence, please. Asanteni sana. Hold. Aya, asanteni sana. Permit me to sit down. Allow our SG to say something. Thank you so much.
Aya.
Comrades, power!
Aya.
Comrades, power! Comrades, power!